Stampers, thank you for joining me today on my YouTube tutorial. My name is Fiona Whitehead and my blog is craftystampers.blogspot.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Hampshire in England. My project today is another Christmas project, I hope that's okay with you all, and I call this my envelope punch board bow card. And the bows that you can see here is what we've made with the envelope punch board. Such a clever little piece of kit. I did this one yesterday. My husband would hate it because he has problems with red and green, and I don't think he'd be able to see that bit. So today we're going to be using these colours and this paper. This is actually our envelope paper, which was on special last month, I think, on Stampin' Up. And I've never used this before, and I quite like it as a background paper. So I'm going to use that one today. I've done quite a lot of the cutting out already because I'm going to see if I can do this in one take, and I've only got 20 minutes, so fingers crossed. So we're going to start with a piece of Whisper White cardstock, which is our standard size, 6x4, and our piece of the real red envelope paper. You could use anything. You can use your designer series paper or just cardstock, but I've just chosen to use this today. So what I'm going to do with it, just to pretty it up a little bit, is I'm going to stamp on it, and I'm going to use Versamark and this stamp set, can you see that, which is Greetings from Santa. If you were at my video yesterday, you'll have heard me say I love Christmas and I love reindeers, so anything with a reindeer in and I buy it. I wish we had that lovely big Dasher reindeer stamp that was out for a few years ago, but this little one is just going to have to do me. So what I am going to do with it, I'm going to use the stars out of this one and obviously the reindeer. So just pop him on our block, and I'm going to use Versamark. Can I tell you a little bit about something about Versamark? Versamark, watermark stamp pad, comes like this. Look at that, pristine, white, lovely. After a while, it looks like this. And I'm so glad I'm not the only one who has their watermark pads looking like this. You can still use it, and you can use it if it's going to go on a dark piece of paper. If you were going to stamp onto Whisper White or a vanilla, very vanilla, I would use this one because that one is going to stain it and you're not going to get the true Versamark effect. So I'm going to use the dark one today just to show you that you can still use them. Don't ever throw them out thinking, oh, I've ruined it. It can still be done. Well, I use it anyway. So I'm just very simply going to stamp some of my little reindeers on here. I'm going to use the Versamark. You could also use real red ink. It'll show up. It's just going to give this a little bit of detail and a bit of background colour so it's not so boring. And the same with the stars. So just randomly stamp those. Yay! Doesn't this remind you of when you were at school and you could play? Well, primary school anyway, not big school. There, simple. And we can move that out of the way and put that to one side. So we just get a nice sort of detail on our paper. Then let's pop that over there. I'll just stick that on and then it's out of the way. Just a little bit of snail. I may run out of snail. I'm waiting for an order. So please bear with me if you find me using a non-SU glue. Oh, there's my dogs. Oh, I'm so sorry. That must mean the postman's come. It could be Mr. Brown, the UPS man. I don't know. That means I might have to stop this now. I'm going to see what the dogs are barking at. Oh, sorry. Right, I'm back. That was a little note to self. Don't try and film when the postman might come. It wasn't Mr. Brown, it was just a normal post. Right, where was I? Now, envelope punch board. Oh, if you haven't used this smashing little bit of kit, here it is in all its glory. And those clever, creative Stampin' Up girls who didn't make it just an envelope punch board, but learnt that we could make boxes and all sorts of wonderful things with it. And today I'm going to use it to make our bows. So the first bow we're going to use is this one, and that is 1 inch by 4 inch. This is actually a Serene Scenery designer series paper, but it looks Christmassy, doesn't it? So I'm going to use that. So 1 inch by 4 inch, and we're going to punch it at 2 inches. Quite simple. And punch, turn it over, and punch. Now this is going to be our tails. So if you just line it up and sort of eyeball it so it's in the middle, that to the end quite helps when it's this size. And punch, and punch. And don't forget with our envelope punch board, if you're not sure, that this actually in there is a corner rounder. And also you get all these lovely little bits that come out. And I have seen some people on Pinterest and YouTube making flowers out of those, so nothing gets wasted. Right, our next piece is 1 inch by 6 inches. And here we're going to punch it at 3 inches, fold it over, and 3 inches. And that's all for the envelope punch board for a moment. Now I'm just going to pretty this up again with just these stars, just to give this a little bit of shimmer and a bit of detail. You could also emboss it with white or silver or that gorgeous copper we have. Might do that in the next one. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to try embossing on a video yet, so oops. Now am I right? Am I all? Yes, I'm all square. So now tricky bit. I need my scissors, which are here. I need a bit more glue. We're going to fold this into there. You see? So if I just put a little bit of glue and sticky strip for this, you don't want to be messing around with Tombow, you'll get your fingers all sticky. And just stick like that, and turn, and stick like that. And then just take your snips and just snip away that little extra bit of the bow, because we don't want that paper there. There we go. And there we go. There's our bow. And you can fluff it up. There we go. That is then going to stick there. Simples. But simple things are the best sometimes. I hope I don't run out of my snail. No, I've still got a bit there. Pop that on there. And the tiniest little bit of green paper, in effect a 1/4 of an inch by a 1/4 of an inch, but you know, I'm not going to measure that. It's just going to go there, so just cut yourself out a little piece of paper, a little bit of glue on the back. I think I am running out of this. I may have to switch. Shh, don't tell SU, I might have to use non-SU glue. I blame it on the order. If that's okay. That's simply going to pop on there. And I'm going to put it on with dimensionals, just to give it a bit of a lift, because we're also going to tie our bauble around it, and it'll be easier to tie it. And look, I've got my pokey tool, or paper piercing tool. I'm wondering whether I should contact Stampin' Up and say, guys, can you call it a pokey tool? Because that's what we all call it, and that's what we know it as. And paper piercing tool is not as easy and quick to say as pokey tool. Do you think they'd listen to me? We do have a board where we can sort of give them ideas. I don't think that's going to fly though. Anyway, stop waffling, Fiona. And on to my bauble. And I'm using the Merry Tags framelets here. This is how I store mine. I get myself a little piece of this metal stuff. Don't know what it's called. And I keep them in with the stamp set. And then I always know where they are. And then I keep those on there. So, look, reindeer. Remember me saying anything with a reindeer? After yesterday's video, where my little reindeer, my Christmas tree wouldn't pop out, I did this already, just to save time. I ran it through on the Big Shot in Whisper White. But what I also did was I ran another one through in the designer series paper that I've used here, the Serene Scenery. And what we're going to do is to glue this onto here. I only did half of it, saves paper, and I didn't need the bottom bit. So we just cut that out and cut that out. And you can leave him with his feet left on if you want, and the Christmas trees with a little bit of snow left on. But I'm going to just take those bits off and take those off there. And you want a fine glue or snail, but fine glues also, and you just glue them on, and that gives your bauble a whole other dimension what it looks like. And you can do that with any designer series paper. Make sure he's lined up though, and it just makes it look so pretty. Make sure his antlers are lined up. There we go. See, just like that. Simples. That's a video, an advert we have over here. Now I'm going to have a touch of real red ink to match all my real red here. And I'm just going to stamp a sentiment at the bottom. And my red has disappeared. I'm back. Here it is. And I'm going to use the Merriest Wishes. And as I said yesterday, this real red ink pad is another original from 2008. Marvellous. You can't fault ink lasting that long, can you? How brilliant. There you go. Quite simple. Pop it on, get that out of the way. Don't lose my little top for my pokey tool. I did lose it once, but managed to find it again. And this gorgeous baker's twine with a little bit of sparkle in it. Real red, sparkle, glitter. Oh, what's not to like? I'm going to pop that in there. Run it through the tag. And pop it through I'm going to just do one and then tie a bow. It's going to be a bit tricky, but it will go through because, there you go, we've put it on a dimensional. And baubles have to hang a little bit, don't they? Oh, little reindeer. There we are. Tie that on there like that. And attempt to do a nice bow on a video. Everybody has difficulty with bows, don't they? Or maybe not everybody. Just pull those tails down there and neaten it off a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. There. Let's just trim those edges. So pretty, this little twine, isn't it? And there. I'm just going to put one little dimensional underneath that bauble, just to stop it from jolting about. Put your antlers down. And the last little thing is the Wink of Stella. This is clear Wink of Stella. Just sprinkle a little bit on the reindeer and the tree. Just give that little bit of a shimmer. And there we go. There we have it. That's our card. Now, this is envelope paper. So I should use my envelope punch board to make my envelope. So I've already pre-cut my paper, which is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 for the size card that I'm doing, according to my lovely little chart here. And I need to punch it score at 3 3/8. Let me make sure I've got that right. 4 by 6, 3 3/8. So 3 3/8, line it up, punch and score. And then move it along to the score line I've just done, punch and score. Move it along to the line I've just done, punch and score. Move it along, find my line, punch and score. Corner around it, and also we can do some more Versamark on the front of this envelope, just to pretty it up and make it look like our card. Fold our lines in, touch of glue, little touch of glue. And if I was going to give this card away, I don't know if you're doing it for a craft fair or something like that, just put sticky strip at the top, and then whoever's going to have it can peel it off when they're ready to use it. And I think we will just finish that off with a little bit of Versamark just down at the bottom. There, and there we have it. There's our bow Christmas card. Thank you for joining me. I will put all the details on my blog if you need some more measurements, craftystamping.blogspot.co.uk. And as you know, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so any supplies you need you can get from me, but you don't need the hard sell, you know what we sell. So there we are. Thank you for joining me. Bye.